welcome back. We're back.
Hey guys.
Yes, hey guys.
Handy.
Oh my God.
Alfie's back.
Alfie's back.
I'm over here.
He's over there and I'm over here. Guys, welcome to the Gli Cumbare Podcast. We love when you guys tune in because we have so many amazing things to talk about that are Italian-Canadian related.
Wait, first off, Italian, Canadian, Let's have a drink. Let's have a drink. Salud. Guys, salud. Cheers. Cheers.
By the way, I made this wine.
And this is Alfie's
And this
wine.
is Alfie's homemade wine. That's next segment, eventually. How did he do it? Nobody really wants to know.
Keep eating.
Exactly.
And I don't
Alfie's
understand.
very
Before
good,
I walk on Hollywood Boulevard before, get them nice and black.
Alfie, it's very good, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Walk
it's very
on Hollywood
good.
Boulevard, you
well
know,
done.
make them nice and black. You know, like the porn stars, you know, to make them bottom of their feet nice and black.
Oh, Maron.
Oh, man.
You know, when their legs are up and you're going, like,
Oh,
really,
Maron.
Wow.
See, even I guess
Dude,
we have a guest here, and he's like,
we did warn you. We did warn you.
It's like, damn, wash the feet.
what?
I'm a foot person. Sorry, I'm just
Okay,
like,
so make sure
So
they
now
wash
that
the
that's
feet.
established,
Yes.
welcome to the Gli Cumbare Podcast.
no
Second round.
bunions either.
Oh, Alfie.
Oh, well.
Un poco de vin. So, guys.
Martello. Ding, 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 ding.
Manage. So, yes. So, we're back. Everybody knows, as we have explained it since our first 8, 9, 10 episodes. It's a spin-off from our series. So, we have the same characters that were on the show here. I see Vanny already. He's hot like it's up for match.
Let's preface this by saying it's super hot in this place, and you're going to hear a few bestemmie, I guess we'll call them, because of the heat. It's a bit hot, but it's okay.
It's all good.
Let's get this going.
So, guys, basically, we talk about everything Italian-Canadian and what makes us stand out above the rest in terms of culture, and the younger, the older, and the middle-aged, I guess, in Montreal. And that's where we're broadcasting from on our podcast from Montreal. Now, one of the main topics that Steph and I actually discussed, but I thought it was really, really amazing to touch on, is the Italian language. Mm-hmm. Now, the Italian language, we know our grandparents, when they came here, they taught us, right? They spoke to us only in Italian. They had to conform in English and French as well. But especially in my family, and I'm half Campobasso, half Calabrese, it was always Italian speaking, especially my grandparents, because they had very little language to help them hear.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, Lisa.
Go ahead.
And the reason
It's a
why,
debate.
the debate is, actually, I had my daughter that we used to send her to Italian school.
Yes.
On Saturday and Sunday, which was Picai.
Yes.
And when we registered her from to Italian school, the person that I was talking to, that was registering her, we had a conversation, and the person herself said, "I don't understand what it is with the Italian culture in Montreal,
Yeah.
or in Canada, in all of Canada."
Yes.
And I'm like, "Why? Like, why is that?" She goes, I have friends that are Colombian, Spanish, Haitian, Dominican Republican, Ukrainian, Greek, Russian, Portuguese. She goes, when I go to their house, the only thing I hear is their language.
Exactly.
Whether the yelling, the screaming, and the kids themselves, they've been brought, like they embrace that the language culture.
Now, when is this? You're talking now modern day?
Modern day.
Okay.
She goes, what I don't understand is that the Italians, when they come here, they talk to their kids in English.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my exact point.
She's like, I don't understand. She goes, I go to, and the parents speak perfect English, perfect French, but they still speak to their kids in Italian, in Italian, in whatever Greek, language, Portuguese, whatever culture they come from, Spanish. She goes, but the Italians, when you go to their house,
I know
it's
they
all
speak
English.
in English.
Yeah. I do weddings every week. Every Saturday I'm at a different wedding, and I do tons, between
She goes, and
Quebec
I don't understand why.
Well, and I noticed that even with the weddings. So when I do an Italian wedding, they tell me don't play any folk music. Don't play a waltz, don't play a tarantella.
But
if you do one, they say if you do one, cool. If you do two, that we're getting on too much. After that, I just want English music. When I do a Greek wedding, or when I do any other Arabic, Portuguese, it's okay, make sure you play some English stuff, but make sure you play at least half an hour every
Of
hour
their cultural
of the
music.
cultural music.
Yeah.
You put a Greek song on, and man, that dance floor is jamming. You
Yeah.
put a Arabic tune, and they're dancing. And why? I don't understand why.
You know what? Honestly, I
Yeah.
don't understand why. I really don't. I mean,
But do you notice, and now I find, especially today, do you notice that those Sunday meals with the family are very few and far between,
Yep.
if maybe not even
If at that,
existent.
if at that.
Now, we're all busy people, right?
on Sunday,
Well, look, do you go to Mass?
no.
Exactly. Italians, my daughter, I even taught catechism. I taught it for 3 years. And we had that belief, and you have to go every Sunday because, God is watching. I was raised with that, but we all were.
But wait, hold on. And I'm going to debate with you on that one too.
Yeah.
Because if you actually look on the Sunday Mass,
Mm-hmm.
we all will say that God rested
On the seventh day,
day.
which is the
Which
Sunday.
was?
Sunday.
No, the original word.
Emo.
Emo.
No, I haven't gone since high school.
On
Sabbath?
the day of the
On the
Sabbath.
Sabbath.
The Holy
Sabbath,
Sabbath.
the Saturday.
Holy Sabbath.
So in Latin, the Sabbath
This is the Saturday.
is the Saturday.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
what the Jewish.
Because if you look at everything on the face of the earth, even with work day starts on Sunday and finishes on Saturday.
Yeah.
So the fact that the church does it on Sunday, why? I'll tell you why. It's political.
I know. I think it's more of a
political.
religious.
That's
We have to open up the stores. The Vatican has to, what? We're getting
Well, we're not
into
going to
a
go
lot.
there.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go there.
Well, this is
But
about
it's
language.
it's the Holy Sabbath, which is Saturday.
Let's not get into
We're
religion
not gonna
because
get into
religion is a
religion.
long conversation,
it's like,
and it is political.
It
We
is.
all
It's
know that.
political.
It's
Everybody has their
political.
opinion.
Like,
Everybody
But
has their
why
opinion.
do we? My kids speak English and French, Italian. They understand it,
Like
but
mine?
they're not going to speak.
My
it.
daughter went to Pello. They called it Pello. The same thing as Picai.
Yeah.
She did it up till grade 6. Now,
Does she speak Italian?
yes, she does. We went to Italy and she spoke to everybody in Italian. My
Love
daughter
people.
understands it and speaks it. Now, that's because as a parent, I believe when
Yes.
you enforce
Yes,
that
when you
principle,
enforce it, yes.
that value, and not necessarily a value, but if you enforce that cultural aspect that you want them to carry on, that's when it becomes, when they're younger, that's when it becomes more pronounced.
Wait, hold on.
You're going to
Your
devise
parents
it.
are still alive?
My father passed away 10 years ago.
Your mom is still alive?
Yes, she is. My mother was an English school teacher
Your husband's parents?
from Italy. Yes.
They're alive?
Italian.
No, my father-in-law just passed away last October.
No, but I mean when they speak to them, it's strictly in
It's
Italian?
solo italiano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
There we go.
yeah.
I have nobody left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I grew up in an English environment. I speak Italian because my parents taught me Italian. But let's get real there. If I'm going to speak to my daughter, I mean, it's going to be...
But you know what? Because I don't think
Yeah.
that value has been instilled.
Yeah.
At home, I speak English. My daughter understands Italian perfectly.
Yes,
My husband was born in Italy.
Your daughter understands Italian because she heard it all her life, but she doesn't practice it because you speak English.
But she works in a store and she talks it.
Yeah, no, she can. Yes, when you're forced to
practice
practice. My French, we learned French. My French wasn't the best up until grade, I don't know, I did Sec 5 and I was okay in French, but it
Yeah.
was really not good. My French got good when I started
Steph.
work in the workforce,
Yeah.
practicing.
Steph.
And us as adults, we don't speak Italian to each other.
We
the
don't.
Greeks, you
The
get
Greeks,
two Greeks,
yeah.
whether they're 10 years old, right?
It's like bazooki night.
We don't do that.
Yeah,
and
but
I don't know why.
But that's
Your
on
French
us.
got good
That's on us.
when you started clubbing and you started picking up the kids.
Oh, hey, Maddie
Come on,
France
yes,
needed
come
to
on, we got it.
understand.
That's
Start
another story. That's another
You
segment.
started picking up the kids.
Maddie France needed to know what I was saying.
My-
L'Energy only had that. So what
So
do
the
you want to do?
Larnac, what do you want to know?
Larizo.
No, Larnac, you could have
Yeah.
spoken.
Where are we going with this? This is Italian.
Larnac, you could have spoken Italian and you would have been fine with everybody.
Yeah, for real.
But in the end, I think it resides with us. I think it was our responsibility to carry on the heritage of our parents and our grandparents.
Yeah,
My
but
mom
the
was an
question
English
is,
teacher.
the question is, why don't we?
But listen,
Wait,
hang on. My mom was an English teacher. She came here at the age of 5. Okay, my father came at 15. He used to work at Fiat. He always spoke Italian. My mom at 5, she had to conform. She went to school. She had to help the parents conform into a society that was predominantly French and English. So what happens? The young one has to take on the language, take on the role of the parents. Hence, the language of the Italian she speaks to them. But out there was predominantly English. She became an English teacher. At home, what happens? You have kids, they go to school, what are you going to do? You're not going to speak Italian because to conform in today's society, you don't speak Italian, you speak English or French. Right?
That's us.
Exactly. But as parents, I find we've forgotten that, and that's why
it will eventually die out.
It will.
Can I make a suggestion here? I honestly think, and I don't know, I could be way out there. I think Italians, our mentality, when we came here, we worked hard. My parents worked hard, and when they came, they assimilated really quickly.
You have to, sure.
Well, they had to. Now, I don't want to say they don't have to assimilate, but when they came here, my parents didn't want to be the outsider. So they learned the language. My father came, he was 15. He still learned English and French because he wanted to work, and assimilate. So what's the easiest way to get more work? I don't know if this is any true or if there's any
You're absolutely right. But then these are your parents right now, right? Because then our parents put us in school, we learned in school.
Yeah.
So what is the excuse?
But I lived with my grandparents.
No, but I mean, what is the excuse of us not learning? And then I got Portuguese friends and Greek that their parents speak perfect, very good English, very good French, Portuguese too. And when I'm in their house and they're like, and I'm like looking at them and I'm like, so is that what we're eating or we're not eating?
I think
and it's all like in Portuguese. So, I mean, what is the excuse?
I think it's a sense of a personal discipline. I think it's when our parents came here. I think it's you know what, for the Italians, and I'm seeing it in my house as well, it's a reliability factor. And my mother-in-law said it best. When my father-in-law passed away, she said, I don't know any of this. My kids are going to tell me where to sign, and I'm going to sign the papers.
Who said that?
My mother-in-law. She didn't understand. So you're depending on the next of kin to take over that element for you. When you do that, and your children are conforming to society, they're conforming to a norm. Because let's face it, in the job world,
but I think
you speak
that's
Italian.
It. I
what
think
are you going to do?
I think that's the thing is like, hey,
we don't
before,
put in that emphasis.
And my family asked me, you're not sending to Italian school. You know what? Right now, my kids, I feel at that age, they were bombarded with English and French.
Yeah.
And I really want them to learn French more than Italian. Not because I don't care about it, but it's going to help. The French is going to help them in Quebec.
Whether it's here or anywhere else, the third language is always better.
Of course.
Yes.
The only thing that bugs me about that is I have friends our age that are Portuguese and Greek, and their kids speak Portuguese and Greek.
But I think it dealt with us.
And we'll go even further than that. I have my daughter's friend. She comes over. She's half Portuguese, half Italian.
But it's
and
about
I asked
us.
her, and I even asked her. I go, so what do you speak at home? Like what? I go, do you speak Italian? She goes, no. I go, do you speak Portuguese? She goes, yes. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You know, it gets
enforced.
to you. And she's like, well, because we speak more. And I go, but do you speak it like the Italian? I go, do you speak it? Or no, she goes, I speak it. She goes, I understand Italian. She goes, when my grandma and my grandfather and everything speaks to me, I understand it. She goes, but I can't respond. She goes, but when I speak in Portuguese,
it's fully.
It's fully.
It's fully. And I'm like,
and it even goes with the.
It's a mystery.
But it even goes with cooking, with that.
No, that I'm gonna disagree with you.
Now we're gonna cut you off. You know what? I think speaking of cooking, we're gonna have to say we don't fucking understand why our kids don't speak the language like they should, and like other not religions but other nationalities do. We're just going to say it's a mystery. And we're going to go into our next segment.
Yes.
And you know what? For our next segment,
I'm actually dealing with part of it. Yeah.
You spoke about food.
Yes.
And I think Francesca has a Saporito.
She does. And then wait till you see what she is actually cooking up.
So before we go into the next segment, I just want to go. It's not true because my daughter, my eldest, still, when I do my wine, she comes and help me do my wine.
Good.
When we do the sopressade, she comes and helps us do the sopressade. When we do the melanzane, she helps us do melanzane.
That's because when you're not there,
because she wants to learn.
Because when you're not there,
the difference.
When you're not there, she goes and she grabs it.
You laugh. She likes my wine better than Bot, but I mean,
It is.
Yeah,
Your
of
wine is
course. That's a
fantastic.
compliment for sure.
So, you know what? Let's have a drink while Francesca
Francesca's gonna talk and us we're gonna enjoy.
Salud.
Salud to you, Francesca.
Hello, welcome to Saporito. Now live from my kitchen, as you can see all the mess behind me. So, and always with a glass of wine. We are talking now about pepperoni ripieni. Pepperoni, not like pepperoni, the American pepperoni, which is actually a salami. So I never understood why pepperoni equal salami. But anyways, this is the pepperoni. I think you call it peppers. I'm not so sure. So basically this is stuffed with the pan grattato, which is bread crumbles, peppers, cheese. I don't remember what cheese I put in it, but you just stuff them in. You put some extra virgin olive oil and you put in your oven, and then you have something very fresh, very nice to eat. You can even stuff it inside. I put in provolone, but you can put like a heart of mozzarella. It works perfectly, and then the only thing that you have to do is just eat them. So follow me for other recipe on Saporito.
Hey, my God. Are
Maro.
you hungry? Me, I'm hungry now.
I'm starving.
I know.
Nothing like
When I see
stuffed.
that, I'm like,
Nothing like stuffed peppers.
you know
I
what?
love it.
I'm gonna have to give her a call, send some recipes to my daughter. You know
what?
We're talking about.
There you go.
Uber Eats.
We're talking,
There you go.
yeah.
Uber
No,
Eats her
No,
peppers.
you do it in Italian.
You know what? I just thought
Ovvero
about
eat,
thinking
ovvero
about
mangi.
my daughter that makes the wine and all that. Now, Francesca, that she's doing all of this beautiful food and all that. I mean, it's two things. Either she comes over my house and teaches my daughter,
Or she
my
brings it
daughter
here and
goes-
we all
goes
eat
over
it.
there.
But if my daughter goes over there, I'm only taking her back when she goes to university because it's from my house straight to university.
Oh my God.
And she better cook good and send
She
it to
better
me
cook
from
good.
university.
So, guys, oh my God, we're done our segment.
We
and
are
we're done
done.
our
Wow,
topic.
that's it already?
We are.
Yeah,
We're,
yeah.
we fly.
We pack in the
We.
content. and-
That's it?
We. That's why we never suck it out. We.
Sorry, my viewers, I didn't do my hair today.
Yeah, you should be. Sorry, Alfie. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning
I
in.
was too
Catch
busy
us.
teasing it down here. But I mean,
Maro.
Guys, thanks so much for
I got
tuning in.
dreadlocks.
Oh, Lord. So,
Anybody
guys,
willing to smoke?
on that note, thanks for tuning in, guys, and catch us in our next episode of Gli Cumbare Podcast. Take care. See you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Ciao.